joined by Travis Ashley, the Green Party candidate for Kelowna-Lake country. Thanks for coming in, Travis.
Always a pleasure, Ken.
So, what is the main thing, if someone approaches you and say, why are you running for the Greens, what's the first thing that comes out of your mouth?
That's a big question. I would have to say the first thing that comes out of my mouth is everything. This is everything. This is the most important election in Canadian history, and you can't solve the climate crisis without getting the economy right, and vice versa. I mean, it's all inclusive, and we can't leave any demographic behind while we do this. So we got a lot of people falling through the cracks, and we just have to take our country forward with responsibility and cooperation, and it's something I haven't been seeing lately. And I really want to see politics done differently. And I want more inclusion. I want more cooperation in the House. I need more transparency. The people deserve accountability. And the biggest thing we need right now is strong leadership to take that forward. And I really believe that's Elizabeth May.
Now, in this part of the country, the Green Party gets almost fringe level voting levels quite often. But at the same time, we're seeing a bit of an upsurge since this Greta Thunberg sort of phenomenon, and we're seeing disruptive activity. There is a bit more energy.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the green wave is here hard. I mean, I'll yell at people at the bus station. I'll be like, "Hi, I'm the green guy," and everyone goes, "Wow!" and even at the doors, I'm talking to people. I say, "Hey, I'm Travis Ashley. I'm the representative for the Green Party for this area," and they're like, "Great, we have questions," because we're tired of the old. We're tired of the dirt slinging. We're tired of the half-truths, the needless rhetoric, and that's what I've been used to being raised and watching politics. It's just I feel like before Elizabeth May, I felt like I didn't have a voice in Parliament, and I really felt strongly against the way Stephen Harper was leading the country, and that's why I was so involved at a young age and making these informed decisions and really doing my research on what was going on here, and at a young age, because this stuff really was so interesting to me, like the big questions like how we mess with our agriculture and our kids' minds due to individualism, and how we have a huge rate of depression, anxiety, and suicide, and how we can build community, and population questions and Americanization, and all this stuff was so interesting to me growing up, and I knew that one day I would have to step up to the plate and be a voice for those that don't have one, because quite frankly, what I'm so tired of is just the old way of doing politics, because I don't like when people say, "Hey, you're a politician." I'm like, no. I'm a person. I'm a father of two amazing children, and I'm fighting for their lives, and I'm fighting for change.
Okay, now we talked a little bit before about your own personal journey, that you sort of came to politics after going through a lot of tough stuff personally.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through poverty. I've been through a very abusive childhood. I've seen many deaths, and
Like friends, suicide?
my best friend, other real close friends, that changed my life. My beautiful fiance's mother committed suicide, changed our lives.
So at a very young age, this made you kind of a serious person, like you were thinking about bigger questions.
And it made me so much stronger, because all this stuff has really made me who I am, and allowed me to realize that life is so fragile. So everything we do now is a reflection on tomorrow. And that just makes me really take everything in like it's a serious. I'm a father of two kids, and I'm really fighting for their lives, and I'm doing everything I can to do so, and I take that very seriously. And those things that I was put up against as a young kid, it's made me who I am, and it's given me empathy to relate with a big demographic of people.
Right, okay. A lot of voters are going to hear what you're saying, and maybe it resonates with them, and they like the idea of supporting you. But then they look pragmatically at the polls and go, really, it's a two-horse race, and maybe I want to vote Liberals. vote for the Liberal instead of the Conservative. And
Yeah.
that's the smartest place to put my vote, even though I actually, like the Green Party person. Here's my question to you. If you don't win, but you gain a surprisingly large number of votes, is that a success?
100% that's a success. Any movement for the Greens is movement for humanity, and that's what I tell everybody. I mean, our policies are amazing. Guaranteed livable income. We're the first ones to call for pharmacare, abolishing tuition, taking all the calls of truth and reconciliation for Indigenous and repairing those relationships is so important. Putting a national child care strategy, a mental health strategy. The list really goes on. And all at the same time, combating the climate crisis and having a smooth transition towards doing so, because now's the time. It's an opportunity. In 4 years, maybe it might not be that opportunity. And this is what I tell people when they say, should I strategically vote this time? And I say to them, well, in 4 years, do you want to kick yourself in the butt again?
Right.
That continues to happen.
So if there's a larger sort of green piece of the voting pie, whoever does get elected, if it's not a green, I guess you're saying they need to pay attention to people who voted that way, because there's some sentiments there that can't be ignored.
It's a demographic that's getting wider and bigger, and people are really starting to be concerned about their lives and the future of their children. And they need to look not just 4 years down the road, but generations down the road. And we have to start acting like responsible people so we can lead the way and lead by example for our children. And I know where Canada can be, and I'm tired of saying, well, look at Europe and where they're going. Look how China just spent $100 billion in environmental subsidies last year. And I think, you know what? We as Canadians, we can be the leaders. We have the ability to do so. We live in the most beautiful place of multiculturalism and inclusion and opportunity. And I think we need to just grab that and just be on that world stage like we market ourselves to be.
Right.
And people fought and died for our right to vote. So if we can't vote for our beliefs and values and how we feel at the end of the day, then what do we have?
Okay, now this is a Green Party plank, and we see other parties that aren't 100% opposed to it either, that we go to proportional representation, so that a vote for a party that might not win carries more value. But
it's just the question is the difference between the inevitability of the Greens getting in and the time that it actually happens. And the question is, do we want to be on the losing side of history?
all right.
Because we have a small window of opportunity here, and it is an opportunity. And like I tell people this quote from Einstein, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. We have an extinction crisis to solve. There's over 1 million species that are at the brink of extinction across the globe. And that's including plant species as well, just so people aren't confused. But the thing is that we are at the epitome of that. We are all part of the same thing. All brothers and sisters on this planet join in the fight towards the injustices that we face around the globe. And if we can't work together, then we won't move Canada forward. And I'm tired of the dirt slinging and the squabbling. We're past that. We're higher than that.
We're also past the time I allotted, but
okay.
It was really good getting to know you better.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, and thank you for watching Kelowna Now.